Hello everyone, I'm Niharika John Mehra and welcome to the English Workbook. So this is a very important video and one of the most requested videos you guys have been asking, where I will teach you difference between who, that, which when these three words are used as relative pronouns. This session is going to be in English. I will keep it a bit slow. I will try using simple words for explanation, but I do want you guys to concentrate and understand this concept. By the end of the video, I'm so sure you will be gaining so much from this video, and this doubt, this confusion when to use that and which, a special doubt will be cleared by the end of the video. But before we go ahead, make sure that you have subscribed. If not, then hit that subscribe button and also this bell icon nearby so you can get all the updates. You can join me on my Telegram channel, Facebook page, description box is there, and the links are there in description box. My website link is also mentioned in the description box below. I do teach on Unacademy. If you want to check out my Unacademy profile, again check the description box and do share and like the video. Now let's begin. So we see, first of all, you need to understand that what exactly relative pronouns are. So as we know, pronouns, they help us in replacing noun. We cannot keep using a name again and again. So for that we have certain pronouns. Now these pronouns are of different types. We have personal pronouns, we have interrogative pronouns, we have such pronouns which are not a definite. Okay, so we can use those pronouns for anyone and everyone kind of a situation. Now there are relative pronouns which I will be teaching you today, and these pronouns help us to relate. As the name suggests, these pronouns help us to relate back to our noun or maybe some other pronoun. I will show you how. So I'm going to write a sentence for you just right now, giving you a brief idea in case you are not aware how this relative pronoun works and why do we even need it. When I say, I know a girl who teaches English. Okay, I know a girl who teaches English. Now, I want to talk more about this girl. My main point of this conversation, or the main thing which I want to say maybe, is this, that I know a girl. But now I want to say one other thing also, and this is that I know a girl and the very same girl teaches English. Instead of saying two different sentences, what I do is I use a relative pronoun and I add these two things, these two thoughts. I know a girl and the very same girl teaches English. Okay, so instead of saying and or making a new sentence, I use who, and after who I use teaches. This is for this girl, and in agreement, subject verb agreement, later on someday we will study, but for now, for those who understand, teaches according to girl because it is third person singular English. Okay, this is a very simple example to understand what is a relative pronoun. It is helping me relate back. Okay, it is helping me, this who is helping me relate back to this girl. But my video is not about making you understand relative pronouns. It's about the difference that we have to understand. Basically, we get three relative pronouns. First one is who. Now this one, who, okay, we use for living beings, okay, for human beings. In fact, it should be a human being, okay. So he is the man who discovered a new element. I'm specifically talking about this man, and this man discovered a new element. The lady who has designed this is my sister. Later on in the video, I will talk about clauses, but again, try to crack the sentence. If I say he is the man, doesn't make any sense. If I am mentioning someone using he pronoun, he is bound to be a man. But that's not what I mean to say. I want you guys to know he is the man, specific man who discovered a new element. So this portion is what I want my learners, my viewers, my listeners to know there is a man, and he, out of all, let's say he is the man who discovered a new element. The lady who has designed this is my sister. Now, in this case, what has happened? This is something which is extra. Okay, this is something which is extra. The lady is my sister. That's my main point of conversation. What I want to tell you is there is a lady. The lady is my sister. In this case, all I'm doing is giving you additional information. The lady who has designed this, even if I delete this portion, my point is conveyed. I'm just giving you additional information. Okay, there is a lady, and the same lady designed this, let's say this presentation. But what I want to talk about is, or what I want to tell you all, that is the lady is my sister. In short, for now, only keep in your mind that we use who for living beings, human beings, okay? Human beings. Coming on to next one, that is which. Now, which is used for non-living. Jacob bought the top hybrid car. Now, he's purchasing the top hybrid car. The car, using relative pronoun, I'm saying car, which will help him save on fuel. Okay, so now what we are saying, this kind of car, hybrid car, there is a specialty attached to this car, and it is that it helps in saving fuel. Now what I'm saying it as I use which as a relative pronoun. Jacob bought the top hybrid car which will help him save on fuel. So this is specialty of car explanation with respect to this car, and I am using which to talk about it. The books which are now out of print have all the important questions. Now we see there are a number of books, let's say there are 10 books, and these which are now out of print. Now this is again additional information. Ultimately, I want to say there are some books, and these books have all the important questions. But what I am saying, I am just giving you extra information saying the books which are now out of print. So this is the current situation, and I want my listener to be clear about it. If the person wants to purchase or to read, now you are not going to get it because it's now out of print. Okay, but there is a fact that these books, the books, have all the important questions. So this is simple use of which for all non-living things, and the same subject verb rule will be followed, that if this is singular, you will have to use verb in agreement to singular, but then in this case will is there, we use will for singular and plural both. In this case, you can see the books. Now we are saying the books, and because it is plural, we are saying are. If we had the book, in that case we would have used which is. Okay, now moving on to next one. And many times we see this is the word based on which questions are asked in our exams. So understand this, the basic use. The singer that won the award is Canadian. Now replacing who with that is not done that often. Who is preferred, but again there is a possibility, it is not wrong. Okay, it is not wrong if I use that for a living being. Singer, if there is a person who sings, the person is a singer, of course we count him or her as a human being, that's so obvious. The singer that won the award is Canadian. The box that is kept under the table has all your stuff. Now this box is there, is used for this box, and even has is used for this box. There are two things I am saying. Box is non-living, it is an object. The box, the very same box that is kept under the table, has all your stuff. So in this case we see, or in short, if I want to summarize, the first thing that we learn about relative pronouns, that is who is used for human beings, which is used for non-living things and animals also, and that is used for living and non-living altogether. Now what is there that will help us to understand the difference, because We cannot keep replacing which and who with that all the time. Okay, so there are certain things you should keep in your mind. They are very simple. All you need to do is just keep watching the video very carefully. Now, when to use that over who and which? The very first condition is if your antecedent, that is the noun or maybe a pronoun if it is there, before these relative pronouns, if that is in superlative degree. This is the best cake that I have ever tasted. Okay, so what I'm saying, that and before that I have my antecedent cake, not just cake but the best cake I have ever tasted. So this one here takes that. I cannot say this is the best cake which I have ever tasted. In this case I cannot use which because you get to see superlative degree. The most honest student that has come across me is Bob. Now in this case again, student, okay, not just student but honest student, and not just honest but most honest student. Now this is what I am saying. Out of all of my students, he is, I'm using a superlative degree, he is the most honest student, and that has the person that has come across me, his name is Bob. So that's how I'm saying has and is both is used for the student. So first thing which you will remember, if your antecedent, that is your noun before your relative pronoun, if that is taking adjective in superlative degree, in that case you will have to use that, not who or which. Next we see second condition. If you have any determiner, these are called determiners, okay, like all, same, any, none, nothing. If these determiners are there before our antecedent, again I told you just now what antecedent is. So you see we use that, we don't use who or which. That was the same answer. Answer is a thing, okay, of course it's not a human being. So you may think we can say that was the same answer which was given by Joy, but no, we don't do it. We will have to use that. I cannot use which, it will be wrong because I'm saying not just answer but the same answer, the same answer. So in that case that will be used. Any person, again I'm talking about a person, but I'm not just saying person, I'm saying any person, because of this any determiner that's present with my antecedent. And how do I know person is antecedent? Because I'm using a relative pronoun. So any person that works hard gets success. In this case again that is used, I cannot use who. This is the second condition. Third condition is a very obvious one, that is if you have an interrogative sentence, that is if there is a sentence and it carries interrogative pronouns. Already my sentence is starting with who and which. This is not what we use in pronouns, but this is like it helps us to make a question. Those pronouns we are talking about. So who is she that bailed you out? So I'm asking a question. I'm already using who to make a question, to frame a question. In that case, somewhere in between, if I need a relative pronoun, I will use that. I will not use who. How weird it will be. Who is she who bailed you out? I'm repeating who 2 times. I cannot do that. Similarly, we see which is the store that sells imported beauty products. Now, which is the store which sells? Store is non-living. It can come in a mind that here is relative pronoun and maybe we need to use which again. But you already have which but as interrogative pronoun. Okay, this time this one and this one, both of them, they are there to help us frame a question. In that case, automatically, if you are using a relative pronoun later in your sentence, you will have to use that over who and which. Now, these all things are there with respect to who and which, and we are using that over them. Now, again, there is this question, and always it troubles my students, so I want to take this one and I want to explain you properly with respect to clause. I will also explain you what exactly clause is. So which versus that, something very important. There are times when you get questions in your competitive exam, bank exam, SSC, etc., where you have to make a choice. Can I use which or not? Should I be using that? Okay, so I will explain you this very important point, and that is the only point which will help you. Through clause, we decide which should come or that should come. Let's begin with that. That is used with restrictive or defining clause. Okay, this term may look scary, but it is not. Just understand it through example. We give preference to that over which in a very strong manner, or let's say it this way, that we use that alone when my clause, that is the portion, the part of sentence after relative pronoun, is restrictive. Without the portion after my relative pronoun, right now I don't know that or which or who, but after that relative pronoun I cannot omit this part. It is like a necessary part of my sentence. I like movies that motivate me. I'm not talking about comedy movies or adventurous movies or thriller movies. I want to put a very clear picture in front of my viewer. I want to convey it in a very clear manner to my listeners that I like movies, but these are the movies that motivate me. So that's why when I use a relative pronoun, it will be that, not which. If I say, he says things that are hurting, I want to talk about those things spoken by the person, and those things are the ones, they are very bad, hurting, demotivating kind of things. So I will have to complete sentence in that way. If I just remove this part, okay, along with that, he says things. This is a vague sentence. It is a sentence that makes no sense because everybody can speak. Like, of course, if he's saying something or the else. Is it making any sense? He says things. He says things. I like movies. Incomplete information, incorrect information, because that is not what I want to say as a speaker. So when your part, your clause after your relative pronoun is a very important one, that is the one that is defining your sentence. In that case, we use that as a relative pronoun. So many that's, yeah. Then which is used when we want to just give additional information, something that is like add-on information just to keep clarity. But even without this clause, even without this part, I will convey what I want to say. So you see here through example, the bag which I like is on sale. All I want to say is, let's say I am saying this thing to my husband, and I want him to buy me that bag. Okay, let's take it this way. So I can just say the bag is on sale. He will understand that if I'm mentioning the bag is on sale, I want to buy it. But if I say the bag which I like is on sale, it simply gives uh, more information about the bag. Even if I remove this, my point is clear, my point is straightforward, letting the person know, let's buy the bag. But here what do we see when I say the bag which I like? This is non-restrictive. It is not doing this thing to my sentence that the person who is listening to me won't understand. Okay, so even if I delete this, my sentence is complete, it is making sense, and it is not ambiguous. When I say which, in this case, I am using which for non-restrictive clause. Second sentence, she wore her best dress. Okay, one part, she wore her best dress, which was bought by her from Paris. If I delete this part, okay, I still have conveyed what I want to. Okay, I'm still telling you the whole story. I'm still telling you the whole scenario. That is, she wore her best dress. That is like the best one she has out of all, out of hundreds of dresses. So in this case, even if I remove that additional clause, still my sentence is correct in giving you full meaning. But when I say she wore her best dress, which was bought by her from Paris, which uh, cost $10 or $100, let's not keep it $10, which cost $100. So in that case, I'm just giving something additional so that you will have more idea, not for a clear idea, but for just something more you will be getting from the sentence. In that case, which is used as a relative pronoun, because now my sentence is using a clause and that clause is non-defining. It's not needed. If I use, well and good. If I don't, then also it's fine. So understand your sentence in that way. In exam, when it comes, see, check it. How will you check it? Just try deleting that part, okay? Just try deleting that part. Now your sentence is there without that clause. Is it making any sense? If yes, then which is okay. If not, if you think now what the meaning is there of this sentence, it is very confusing. Like if I remove this and now think he says things, you will be confused. You will think, why even this thing is mentioned over here? This statement is written over here. What's the point of writing these three words? In that case, know in your mind that that should come as a relative pronoun. Okay, so this is the only way you can figure out whether there should be that as a relative pronoun or which as a relative pronoun. Rest, I believe that as you practice, as you analyze more sentences, you will get more idea about it. You will be able to figure this thing out very quickly. But this has been one of those questions, like all time confusing questions. I thought of taking it, and thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure once again that you have subscribed the channel and hit that bell icon. Share guys, because through your support only, we can grow this the English workbook fam. I will be seeing you soon with more such videos, concept based. Monday to Friday we are doing vocabulary, and these words are taken from the Hindu editorial, the Indian Express editorial, which are very helpful words, set of words for your competitive exam. So check out those videos. If you want to check out the previous video which I did, I will try pinning it over here on the top, so you can directly check that video as well. Increase your knowledge, enhance your knowledge, start loving the language, that is English, and I believe it will become easy for you like that. See you later. Thank you so much once again. Bye bye.